Hello and welcome to Second Take. I'm your co-host Lucas Silverman,
I'm your co-host Julien Smith.
and this project is debating the most pressing sports topics, and I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I'm a senior at the Branson School, and I will be attending Ithaca College in the fall, and I will be studying business management.
I am 18 years old, also attending the Branson School. This is my senior year, our senior capstone project, and I will be attending the University of Michigan in the summer.
All right, cool. So we're going to go into our first topic of the day, and what we're going to be debating is our top 5 point guards. So Julian, do you want to go first?
I will go first. These are my top 5 point guards in order. I have number 1, Stephen Curry. I'm a huge Steph Curry fan, so this is no surprise to you that this is my number 1. Number 2, CP3, arguably one of the best point guards of this decade. Number 3, Damian Lillard. Number 4, Russell Westbrook. And then number 5, Kyrie Irving. So, how do you feel about my
I'm a little surprised. I mean, I'm not that surprised, but I think you're going to be a little surprised of what I wrote down as my top 5. I'm just curious. I know Stephen Curry is easily the best shooter out of all of those players.
Yes.
And Kyrie Irving and Damian Lillard are two young guys. They've only been in the league for about 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So you think that they will continue their production?
I do, especially for Damian Lillard. I feel like Damian Lillard has superstar potential. I feel like he can get anywhere he wants on the court. He knows how to run a team. He has great backup with LaMarcus Aldridge. I feel like he could thrive in the NBA the next 10 plus years. And same with Kyrie. Kyrie has arguably the best handles in the NBA. He needs to work on his assists. I feel like he can get those up if he works on that. And then he has a great jumper also.
Okay, I kind of agree with you about the Russell Westbrook as well. But I had a little bit of trouble putting him in there because there's so much debate about, does he shoot too much? Is he a little too selfish? Is he a traditional point guard? Is he a shooting guard? I want to hear why do you think Russell Westbrook should be in the top 5?
He's a superstar. I mean, the way that he scores, his intensity, his aggressiveness, it's some would say it's more than KD, to be honest. Because KD is a little more reluctant to get the basketball, whereas Westbrook is very aggressive. He demands he has the ball in moments that maybe sometimes KD should have the ball. But his athleticism is crazy. Most athletic point guard in the NBA by far. We have to see when Derrick Rose comes back because maybe he can challenge that. But I feel like there's no way you could leave Russell Westbrook off this list.
I totally agree. I have him in my top 5, and I'll show my top 5 in a few minutes. Who did you want to put in there that you just couldn't, because it's like the point guard position is so stacked in today's NBA. It's probably one of the most competitive positions, and even in the people that are coming into the NBA from college that might want to be a point guard, there's so many established point guards that are veterans, that are up and coming, like Kyrie and Damian, who was really hard to keep off of your list.
That's let me think. That's tough. I feel like I'm really content with my list.
Okay.
I don't know if there's one guy specifically that I felt should be on this list. I feel like every guy that I have is right where they should be. I don't know if I left anyone out. Who any suggestions on maybe who?
Yeah, I even had an honorable mention.
Really?
Like a healthy Rajon Rondo is
Yeah.
arguably one of the best point guards in the league. I mean, he was injured all of last season. He wasn't the same.
Yeah.
When he was on that Celtics team, when they had KG, Pierce, and Allen, he destroyed the Heat, even with LeBron and Dwayne.
Well, that was years ago, though.
I understand. and he's getting a little bit older, but he's still quite young. I think he still has potential to be one of the best. He's the best. He's one of the best facilitators. Like, he's not a scorer. He doesn't have a great jumper, but as long as, like, as far as floor general, and as long as, like, if there's a system in play, he's one of the best players of getting teammates an open shot.
So would you replace Rondo right now?
Not
with
right now.
Any one of my guys.
I agree with your list for the most part. I mean,
because we're talking about the best 5 point guards.
I mean, and Rondo's just one of them. Like Tony Parker, Darren Williams, Derrick Rose, if he got healthy, would also be a very good player. I just think that today, in today's NBA, the point guard position is so broad that you can't really go wrong with any 5 that you choose, because they're all fantastic.
Right.
I mean, you have to snub out a couple of them.
I agree with you, Tony Parker. Tony Parker, that might be the one. Because Tony Parker's still got it. Tony Parker's still running his team with Tim Duncan. I mean, they're both old, but they both continue to thrive in the league today. Tony Parker, most point guards, Stephen Curry specifically, has said that Tony Parker is the most difficult guy he's ever had to guard, ever. So, and that's now. That's when he's what? How old is he right now? 30.
Tony Parker? He's got to be like 35.
35, yeah.
I think he's like 36.
So, definitely an honorable mention. I'll give you some way with Tony Parker.
Now I'm going to go into my top 5 point guards. So when I was going through this list, there was a couple of different sections. I had the best all-around player, the best floor general, the best shooter, a rising star, and most athletic. And you're going to be surprised at my number 1. My number 1, LeBron James.
He's not a point guard. He's not a point guard.
You're telling me that when he brings the ball up almost every time, and Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole are running the wing, LeBron doesn't.
He can run the point, but he's not a point guard.
I think he's a point forward. He's a point forward. I think that he pretty much runs the team. He is the facility. He averaged almost 8 assists this year as a
small forward.
No, he played power forward a lot this year with Chris Bosh at the center, because when Dwayne Wade was injured, he kept that team afloat, and he was easily the person who was running the show.
He's a versatile player. He is not a true point guard, though.
If he wanted to play point guard, he would easily be and he does it right now. If he wants to be the best point guard, he can be the best point guard. He's the best, besides KD, who had a great year. The past 5 years has been run by LeBron James. He's easily the best player in the league, except for this year. KD had an incredible season. Taking nothing away from what he did this year. But LeBron James is easily the best player in the league, and he does it a lot through the point guard position. So that's my number 1. And then number 2, best floor general, easily Chris Paul. I think that he resurrected the Clippers organization. They were one of the worst teams in the league, even with Blake Griffin on their team. And when he came to the Clippers from New Orleans, he easily brought that team into one of the top 5 teams in the league. And they're showing it right now in the playoffs, killing Oklahoma City in the first game, going through their whole Donald Sterling situation. I think that he is an incredible leader. He knows how to make his teammates better, and easily the best floor general. Best shooter, Stephen Curry by far. He's also, I think, really stepped up his game as a facilitator. Since he's been in the league, he's averaging more assists. He obviously is a best shooter in the league. Shoots 90% from the free throw line. Shoots like almost 40%. Shoots about 40% from three-point range, and you can't go wrong with Stephen Curry. He had potential to be one of the best players in the entire league. And then most exciting, unpredictable, athletic point guard, Russell Westbrook. I mean, he does some of the craziest plays. Like, he had a tip-in dunk going against Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph in the Oklahoma City-Memphis Grizzlies game, and you could he's so unpredictable that he could kill you. He could win a game for you. He's a little bit selfish, I'll admit it, but he has to be a little bit selfish because KD needs to get his shots. He needs to get his shots. They're two of the top 10 best players in the league. And then finally, Damian Lillard. Talk about clutch. Easily one of the clutchest players in the league. He is so he has handles. And it was really hard to decide between Damian Lillard and Kyrie. I think Damian Lillard is a rising superstar. I think he's a great fit for Portland. Him and LaMarcus Aldridge are a great package, and he can create his own shot. He can get to the rim, finish at the rim, incredible three-point shooter, and I think he's one of the clutchest point guards out of this whole group, minus maybe LeBron James. And I haven't really seen any Stephen Curry is clutch, but he hasn't.
I would argue that Steph is more clutch than Damian Lillard.
I mean,
how many?
You can't really go wrong.
How many buzzer beaters has Damian Lillard had this season?
He had one to win a Game 6 of a playoff series, down 2 with 0.9 seconds left.
But that's it, though.
No, he had another game.
Important.
He had another game winner against Cleveland earlier in the season as well. He's becoming one of the most exciting players to watch, and he easily. I know they had a rough game last night, but easily a rising superstar. And he will be running that team probably next year with the help of LaMarcus Aldridge. It's like
he's already running the team.
Him and LaMarcus Aldridge is an incredible player too. He had a great season, but
whose team do you think it is?
Right now I think it's LaMarcus's, but I think next year it'll be Damian's. I truly believe that.
I would argue that.
And granted, it's only Damian Lillard's second year in the league. He won Rookie of the Year last year, and he was already an All-Star. I mean, you can't really go wrong with him. He's an incredible player. It was hard subbing Kyrie Irving because he does have the best handles. But Damian Lillard, I feel like, is going to have a better career.
You feel like, in total, he's going to have a better career?
Yeah.
Damian Lillard got lucky, though. Kyrie Irving doesn't have a LaMarcus Aldridge.
I agree.
He doesn't have a David
That's why
Lee.
I think he'll probably end up... I know he has a better supporting cast, but since Kyrie...
That has a lot to do with
also,
it. Also,
Kyrie Irving gets injured a lot. He's very injury prone. He's had hand issues. He's had hamstring issues. He's had long extended rest. He hasn't finished the season
Curry.
one. Yeah, Stephen Curry. The reason it was his best year,
and this is only his second year. Damian Lillard could get injured in it, next
but
season.
since he's been in the league,
he's been in the league for 2 years though.
I agree, but even when Kyrie first came into the league, his first year, he had to sit out the last 15 games because of a hand issue. They shut him down. Granted, they had already had a losing record and they wanted to preserve
that.
Him.
Had a lot to
Who
do.
knows if he was actually injured? Maybe they were like, or Kyrie, we are terrible. Let's just give you an extended rest so you're good for the next season. But that hasn't really worked because they're not a good team. So
I don't think that's on Kyrie though. I think that's on the Cleveland Cavaliers organization drafting bad players.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. Kyrie Irving is easily number 6 on this list. He's exciting. He creates his own shot. He's a great finisher at the rim. One of the best finishers in the league. And I just think that right now, with the way the team is really situated, the Cavaliers versus the Trailblazers, Damian is a better player in that system and does a better job at creating games in that situation.
Did you had Damian Lillard 5th on the list?
I had him 5th.
And you had Russell 4th.
Yeah.
So if you were to start a team right now and you had to start with the point guard, you would start with Russell Westbrook and not Damian Lillard.
Russell Westbrook is incredibly fast. He's a better defender too.
But we're talking about point guards though.
Russell Westbrook.
Who runs the point better? Russell Westbrook or Damian Lillard? Damian Lillard does, in my opinion. Russell Westbrook is more of a.
Russell Westbrook is way more athletic.
He's more of a scorer.
He's athletic.
He's not because you have to be a facilitator to gain attention in the point guard position. He's not.
Russell Westbrook gets to the rim easier.
Yeah,
than
that's
Damian.
scoring though.
But you need a point guard that can spread the. You need a point guard that can drive and dish. When around that team, you have Kevin Durant, the MVP.
Damian Lillard does the same thing.
You have players such as Caron Butler, Thabo Sefolosha, Jeremy Lamb, even Serge and Kendrick Perkins down in the post. You have an athletic enough of a point guard that can create plays for your offense. Also, Russell Westbrook is one of the best offensive rebounding point guards in the league. That creates extra possessions. Damian Lillard he doesn't get offensive rebounds, he gets a lot of defensive rebounds. Russell Westbrook is so passionate. His passion is just, he does so much that it's too much. He does so much for the team that it's too much. He tries to do everything when he knows that he has a Kevin Durant to have run the show. He's so into the game that he can either win it for you or lose it for you. And most of the time, since he's been in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder have been one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the NBA.
That's our take.